came from Iran after the revolution in 1978 and decided that I wanted to be a journalist. And it was actually Rhode Island where I had my first, again, entry-level job as an electronic graphics operator. But it was that television station, WJAR, that told me about CNN. And this was 35 years ago. It said, you know what? You have an English accent. You want to be on television. And it's true, I'd had no luck trying to peddle my way through any of the normal route. No, I couldn't do it because I didn't look or sound the part. And at WJAR in Atlanta, they said, you know, some English accents are on that channel. You never know. Ted Turner has started this thing, and you might have a chance. So I called CNN, and I said I really wanted to join CNN, and they gave me 10 questions, which I answered pretty well. One of them was, what was the capital of Iran? And I got that right. Anyway, then I got the job. And the job was meant to be electronic graphics operator. But when I arrived at CNN with the suitcase and $100 or so, and my bicycle, I might add, it's very important, the bicycle part, I soon found that people didn't bicycle around Atlanta. And I really, you know, came in for a lot of abuse, and I had a lot of road rage, but I got through that. So anyway, I landed in Atlanta, and I was told immediately that even though I thought I was coming for one job, there was a vacancy on the foreign desk, and you're foreign, you're gonna go and do that job. So I was incredibly happy about that, because I honestly didn't want to be banging chirons out and words and letters, and I wanted to be a foreign correspondent. So that was the beginning of my journey 35 years ago, September 1983. And it is fantastic to be back, because to be honest with you, there's a lot of people in this room who were there when I started, and I'm really happy that a lot of my CNN friends are here tonight, and that everybody who's responsible for me climbing up this ladder and doing, you know, what I really wanted to do is here tonight. So thank you very much to Tom Johnson, who was the president when I actually managed to be a foreign correspondent, who really kicked me over the line and over the threshold and really set me on my way. Thank you to Tony Maddox and Mike McCarthy and Mira, if you're still there, for your current leadership. It's really great to have this opportunity to be CNN and take on this other amazing thing, PBS, right now, and to just keep sort of broadening interests and context and dimensions. I find that incredibly fortunate at my stage, my age, after doing all of this. It's great to always still, apparently, have new challenges. And I just wanted to say that at an event in New York a few weeks ago, I spoke about the lack of leadership in the world as we're seeing it right now, or the very fraught leadership that we're seeing all over the place, from here to Europe to further afield. And I said, you know, there's quite a lot of darkness. There really is, whether it's in the sexual misconduct of so many, even in our own industry, being toppled because of that, whether it's the very harsh politics, quite contrary to what we saw in this amazing debate series, where you can actually have opposing ideas and have different ways of doing your business without treating others as an enemy. And I wonder whether it's the idea that you can't seem in politics today to have a political difference, or in any field to have a difference without becoming enemies. And I wonder whether that, I was just thinking that at a table just now, whether that has created this tension between the media and the White House right now. Maybe they believe that we're all here just to support their agenda, and therefore when we are objective journalists, neither supporting nor not supporting, but just being objective, maybe they then think we are fake or enemies or whatever they say. But it's very interesting that that came to my mind when I saw this you know, this format of this debate series, that left and right, conservative and liberal, can actually get together and have arguments or debates or conversations that don't necessarily mean you have to kill each other or call each other enemies. And I think we need to get back to that. And then I would just say that with all this leadership turmoil, I am so fortunate to have worked at CNN, for this to have been my professional home for all my career, which was founded and led by a true giant among humans. Ted Turner is a giant, and what he did changed the world. And it's not just a cliche, he did change the world. Nobody had done 24/7 television before, and everything that's come since has been a copy, and not a very good copy, of what Ted Turner founded. I would also say that he was so brave. He used his power as a leader to do good in every possible dimension, whether it was the Goodwill Games, when he tried to somehow ameliorate the tension between the United States and the Soviet Union, at the height of the Cold War. He believed in bringing people together, and that came into our bloodstream as well. We who work for him really believe in those things as well, the idea of tolerance, and to be able to understand the complexities of different religions, different politics, different ethnicities, different races, sexes, gender, everything. We got that on the job from Ted Turner, and it's a vital part of CNN's DNA to this day, and it's really, really important. He pioneered, as a private citizen, the idea of controlling rogue nuclear weapons with Senator Sam Nunn and Senator Richard Lugar, again, conservative and liberal, to create the Nuclear Threat Initiative. That's a big, big deal, and it really lowered the tension and lowered the danger around the world. He was the first of the great modern-day billionaire philanthropists. You know, after the Carnegies and the Rockefellers and the Mellons, there was Ted Turner. And there was first Ted Turner, and then there was Buffett and Gates and all the other people. Ted Turner did it first. He taught us something. He taught us about giving back. That also is in the DNA, certainly in my DNA, but in how I believe journalism should be. It's about giving, it's about public service, it's about, yeah, that's what it's about. And then the environment. Ted was the first of the major private citizens to pioneer care for our environment and care for our climate. And again, we learned that. And we learned at CNN that there might be deniers in all these areas, but the deniers are a very tiny minority, and we will never equate and create a false equivalence, a false factual or a false moral equivalence. There are a tiny, tiny minority of deniers, and then 99% of science on this side. And that's how we report, and we must never be confused by that. So I would just like to say thank you all for this. Wonderful honor. Great to be back in Atlanta. Thanks to all my CNN community and everybody here, and all the young women and many, many women who I've met here tonight. And I hope that, you know, that people realize that this job, journalism, is a real, real valuable, noble profession. And without free, fair, independent, strong, brave journalism,